Shalom and good day all, this is Tehillim29 back again for another indie comic review, and in this indie comic review I'm covering issue 4 of Fence Redemption and issue 2 of Mech Cadets. I'll now get things organised for the first one that I'll be reviewing. So the first one that I'll be reviewing is Fence 4 Redemption, or Fence issue 4 of Redemption. And starting off with first things first, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? Sure enough it does, to which I give a 7.5 out of 10. It's now time to move towards having a look at the internal art and also some of the things that are happening story-wise. So as the story begins, we return to Halverton and we get to see some of the characters such as Seiji, Nicholas, and some of the other characters. They're having a bit of a discussion as the fencing is now finally over between the camps, or between the schools. As the story continues, they start to go out to some places before things finish up and the others leave. And last but not least, they finally end up heading out to go back to their main location, or their main fencing school. One thing I do want to point out in this is, even though I didn't show it in the images, but I think I'll show it now, is that they end up giving us a bit of a history behind one of the characters that appears in the series. As the story centers sort of like around a female fencer that did well in the Olympics in 1992. This is, I think, the highlight of this particular issue. Even though the story rating isn't high for this, this is definitely the highlight of this particular story and this particular issue in the story run. So for the internal art, seeing it's been quite consistent, I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. Now it's time to move in relation to the area of the story. First things first, did we get anything time-wise? Yes, we did, to the year of 1992. The location, to which we actually get a connection to the Olympics. We also get the San Remo Ballroom, and of course Halverton. The cast of characters, we got the main, of course, plus some just names mentioned, include as well as the key characters. So quite a lot here. So we had Marcel, Leah, Emma, Michelle, Kenzie, Dafra, oh gosh, Brianna. Of course, we had Alessandra, Donati, we had Mick, Tommy, Sam, Casper, and Seiji. For the overall story rating in this, I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. Now it's time to move on to Mech Cadets. So as we jump into Mech Cadets, issue 2, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? Sure enough it does, to which I give this cover a 7.5 out of 10. Now it's time to move into the internal art in relation to the story and also what's happening story-wise. So as we begin to jump into the middle of the story, we have the Robos along with the Mech Cadets who are in them, and we have finally got the character of Olivia back, and we actually learn a little bit about what actually happened with her character, to where she was actually caught and also escaped. Which we learn is with the help of an alien. We return to one of the bases to which the Sharg attack, and of course they gotta be on high alert at all times because they never know when the Sharg are going to attack. And as we start to move towards the end, we get to see General Park moving in to save his daughter from a Sharg. And I must admit, this is probably a really big sacrifice that has taken place, especially for one of the main characters that are in this series. of the story. So moving into the art ratings, which I gave a 7 out of 10. But did it ruin the story? Let's find out. First things first, do we get any indication time-wise? No, we don't. Location? No, we don't. Cast of characters, we have General Park, General Felix, Olivia Park, Captain Sanchez, Stanford Yu, Frank, Maya, Buddy, who are the Robos, Thunderwrecker, and of course the Sharks. In this, there is something that is actually learnt, that there's a connection between the Robos and the Sharks, and there's believed to be a connection that maybe that they're sort of like a connected species, but one's slightly different than the other, and that's why one gets attacked more than the other. So one's sort of like pushing for superiority, and we're starting to see that there might actually be another shark trap that's being set up. For the overall story rating in this, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. I'm definitely looking forward to the next issue. Until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.